Welcome back, GP friends. So today we're going to talk about how to import GenLedger transactions. Okay, so there are several ways to do it, but there's technical ways of doing it. There's something called Smart Connect, another way of doing it. What I'm talking about today is just one nice, simple way of copying something from Excel to GP, right? So this is going to be very easy. I've actually prepared something. I believe I have about 500 or so GenLedger accounts, right? So you can see there is a column for the account number, debits, credits, and then I've also stuck in something in there for the distribution reference. For those of you who don't know, that's basically a description, but it's not a transaction description. It's a distribution line by the distribution line description. Okay, it's actually called distribution reference. All right. I put in a fake description in there, but aside from that, there's some GenLedger accounts, and now let's see how we do it. Right. So it's very very simple. Now the one key is make sure that all these that you have exactly these four rows. Okay, no more, no less. And then now you don't have to have a distribution reference, although it's nice. All you have to do is highlight all four columns. Even if the distribution reference is blank, copy it. And don't copy the title or the header, the first row, right? The one that says the titles, distribution reference, GL account, debit and credit. I don't want that. I only want the actual data that I'm copying over. So I've got that copied. I'm going to go to Dynamics GP. I'm going to go to the GenLedger window, which is this one right over here. And really simple is I go here, I click on paste. Oh, by the way, sometimes that button is just laying out right over here for everyone to take note. It's very easy to see. Sometimes, depending on the resolution of your window or your screen or maybe some other factor, it might be hidden. And in my case, it's under that little arrow. So I click on it and I find the Excel button rather easily. Okay, so you saw them all come in. It's as easy as that. Now, for me, it was nice and straightforward, but for other people, you might accidentally be copying in a general ledger account that does not exist, or maybe a general ledger account uh, that is inactive, or maybe some other scenarios. Maybe you're bringing in an unbalanced distribution. All of that is possible, um, but what happens in that case is GP will actually give you two different things. Usually, it will give you a report listing out the general ledger accounts that are inactive or don't exist or whatever, right? In other cases, depending on the issue, it might actually just give you a little error message saying error unbalanced distribution or whatever it is. So basically, that's the way that GP handles it. Okay, great for those of you who take a lot of time to prepare these transactions, right? In Excel, maybe they're coming from a few different spreadsheets and you're combining them, you're getting it all straightforward. And you don't want to type it all in. There are other ways of importing, but this is by far the easiest. It's good if you have one GL transaction or maybe just at least a few small number of general ledger transactions. So you can do a copy and paste fairly easily. What it's not good for is if you want to import in a lot of transactions all at once, right? Because you can see that this is copying one transaction at a time. If you have to copy in 50 transactions that are all maybe two or three distribution lines long, this is going to be a waste of time, right? So there's other ways of doing this. Smart Connect, other things, right? But this is certainly one of my favorite ways of doing it. It's certainly very flashy, very easy, and I hope it does you well. This is available, I believe, as of GP version 2013. Okay, so before that, it is not available. And another little thing, it is possible if you've upgraded from a prior version, possible that you may not actually have access to the functionality in here, right, for the copy and paste. Just because if your security is exactly what it was in GP 2010, it's missing that little piece in there, the Excel function, right? So I did have that issue one time, and I had to fix up the security to make sure it was working properly, but got it figured out. No big deal. Okay, so there you go. Uh, Another tip for you to make your life a little bit easier.